record, 14-1, 12 knockouts. The loss, of course, was in his very first professional fight. And he just said he simply wasn't ready to fight that time. He took the fight on short notice. He was a part-time fighter until just 2 years ago. And so Larry Holmes, who has not fought since last November, almost a year ago, and even then he only went one round, coming toward the ring now. We mentioned earlier, people always talk about the fact that Larry Holmes is ready to go, but there's been nobody who's been able to do the job. And here's the champion. Also coming in with a towel draped around him. And there's the record of Larry Holmes. It is an enviable record, to be sure. He says he would like to break Rocky Marciano's record. Marciano, of course, retired 49-0. Larry Holmes at 35 years old now. Some interesting numbers, I think. The Thrilla in Manila, when Muhammad Ali fought that great fight with Joe Frazier, Ali was 33, Frazier was 31, and they were both pretty much done after that. And there are the numbers on this one, and there are a couple of interesting numbers there, Larry.
Well, the most interesting number is the age of Smith at 31. Some reporters called up Shaw College to check that he had actually graduated from that school in Raleigh, North Carolina. He had graduated, but in the process, the reporters found out that he wasn't 29 years old as listed. He was 31. So you win one and you lose one.
So is Larry Holmes really ready to go? We talk about the fact that Ali was 33 and all but done after the Thrilla in Manila. Joe Louis was 34 in 1948 when he retired, and Jack Dempsey 31 and 32 when he fought Tunney. Right now, let's go to the ring announcer, Chuck Hull, the introduction of the fight.
In the blue corner, the challenger, rated number 11 by the IBF, fighting out of Magnolia, North Carolina, weighing 227 pounds. He has a professional record of 14 wins, 1 defeat, with 12 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, James Bone Crusher Smith. From Easton, Pennsylvania, weighing 221.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his professional career with 45 wins, no losses, and 32 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated International Boxing Federation champion, the Easton Assassin, Larry Holmes.
Smith, of course, if he's going to do business, he's going to have to get to Larry Holmes. The one thing that we do know about him, he is a pretty good finisher.
Well, Larry might jump right on Bone Crusher Smith because there's no perspiration.
That's one of the great stare downs right there.
You might see aggressive Larry Holmes the very first round, Barry.
Holmes taking no nonsense there from Smith. Smith wide-eyed, staring at his man. A lot of emotion here. Round one. Holmes came in at 221. It's a couple of pounds lighter than he said he was going to.
Smith seems to be very tight.
Be sure and get your opinion after this first round, because you were saying you'll be able to tell a lot about Bone Crusher Smith after one round, so we'll see. Holmes has said he's bothered more by awkward fighters like Burbick, for instance, and Snipes. Good jab by Larry Holmes.
What Smith is trying to do, he's trying to block the left jab of Larry Holmes. In fact, he watched the Witherspoon fight, and he saw the defense that Witherspoon had. So basically, that's what Smith is trying to do.
Holmes trying to go inside and out. That was a very good right hand by Larry Holmes, the champion. Holmes is up on his toes. A little bit of blood actually already showing in the bridge of the nose of Bone Crusher Smith.
I don't like the way Smith is keeping that left hand down. He's throwing it, he's bringing it down.
Halfway through the first round.
He's very susceptible to a counter right hand, and Larry throws a very good right hand.
Remember Smith, when he lost the fight, when he won the fight, I should say, from Frank Bruno, lost 9 of the first 10 rounds, and then he knocked him out. He readily said, as you heard, I'll get hit as many times as I need to get hit, but at some point during the course of the fight, Larry Holmes always relaxes and takes a breather. And that's when I'll get it.
Okay, now Larry has measured. He's found the target with that left jab. So watch for the right hand to follow behind that left jab of Larry Holmes.
Came with a right hand lead just a moment ago, something you will not often see Larry Holmes do. You can just almost see Larry Holmes just try to figure out his man.
Basically now he's just toying with Smith, trying to make Smith drop that left hand. There. You took it to the right hand.
Holmes being all business, no nonsense here in the first round. And the jab is very effective, and there is blood on the bridge of the nose of Bone Crusher Smith. This is the second round, and Bone Crusher Smith, according to Emil Griffin, fought Larry Holmes fight in the first round. He doesn't want him to do that. He wants him to keep that jab moving. Smith tries, but to no avail. No question about it, the sharper of the two is Larry Holmes.
Well, if you look at Bone Crusher's face, you can see that left jab has been very effective and very damaging.
The one time in the fight against Frank Bruno, which we keep harkening back to, but with good reason, because that was his finest hour, the only time he really got to Bruno and bothered him was when he was on the ropes. And Larry Holmes' corner exhorted him, stay in the middle of the ring, get off the ropes. That was Eddie Futch's advice before the fight.
Now what Larry Holmes doesn't want to do, bro, he doesn't want to stay inside with this guy. This guy has good punching power.
And once again, Holmes spins off the ropes. Trying to be a little bit more aggressive here in this second round.
Pull up your sleeve. That's it. Every leg. Pull up your sleeve. That's it. Circle. Take it to the circle.
Holmes staying pretty much right in front of Bone Crusher Smith. Smith ducking in awkwardly.
Both guys are really trying to land that big right hand. And what's going to happen, whoever lands first will probably be the winner.
Fight has settled down a little bit here in the second round. Neither man has been hurt. Still a little bit of blood on the bridge of the nose of Smith. It is not appreciably worse than it was in the first round.
I think that's when it's dangerous for Larry. Every time he gets inside and tries to exchange punches with Smith, I think he's asking for trouble.
That's exactly what Smith wants, of course. He wants you to mix it up with him.
If we can catch that right hand that Holmes finally shot through. He's been trying to set it up and unleash it, obviously. We missed the shot there. He's been trying to set that punch up, obviously, right through this entire 2 rounds of the fight. And I think Larry has looked a little bit awkward so far because there it is. There's the right hand. Larry's looked a little bit awkward, wouldn't you say, Ray? He's been away for a year. He's fighting a big guy with long arms,
well, the
who seems to be trying to block his punches with those long arms.
I think
it hasn't been easy yet.
The inactivity is really hurting Larry, and those broad shoulders of Smith is not making an easy target for him.
Holmes up on his toes now as we start the third round.
The left jab of Larry Holmes is really doing a number on Smith, and it's really starting to frustrate him, because he can't find a way to get inside.
There's a little bit of swelling alongside the nose. Still a little bit of blood on the bridge of the nose of Bone Crusher Smith. And a little mark up on the forehead also.
Again, this is that Larry gets the ropes or in the corner. So you can wheel away at the body.
The longer this fight goes on, Ray, who do you feel it favors?
Well, quite naturally, Larry Holmes, it's in his best interest because Larry's been that route a lot of times, and he's in condition to go the distance.
Should point out that Smith has only gone 10 rounds once, 8 rounds once, and 6 rounds once. Everything else has been 5 or under. Little blood now underneath the eye, up on the cheek of Bone Crusher Smith. So he's cutting up early here.
Fatigue sets in, and then experience shows. And that's what you're going to see in Larry Holmes. He's going to give angles, step side to side. He's start throwing more combinations.
Got that right hand in and the left hand down.
Now Larry's starting to double up on his left jab. He's going to the body. He's going back into the head.
Holmes trying to go downstairs a little bit more here. Holmes been very effective in this round. I think you might hear Holmes' corner yelling, "Everlast, Everlast." What that means is go to the body. They have signals that they give their man so as not to be coaching from the corner. Holmes trying an uppercut, just missed.
What Holmes tried to do, he tried to establish, get his rhythm going. You know, basically this is saying 1-2 punches.
And Holmes getting the better of that exchange, and now there's blood above the left eye of Smith, and he's not going to have too far to go because he's cut right now in 3 places.
And what's doing is that left jab of Larry Holmes. Starting to find his target.
Holmes is cut above and below the eye, actually on the cheek, plus above the eye, plus on the bridge of the nose.
Don't stand in front of them and let the punching.
Work that body.
Work it good. Okay. Get on top of him. Look at work now. Look at work. Don't play wrong. Look at work. Okay.
You heard Emil Griffith's instructions. He wants Bone Crusher Smith to go to Larry Holmes' body. Would you explain those instructions, Ray?
I'm sure what Griffith wanted to do, get closer to and back Larry out. He has to initiate, Smith has to initiate some type of authority. He has the power to do so.
And Smith just taking all sorts of punishment on the left side of his face. Holmes really working on the left side.
Larry now basically just picking his shots. He's just waiting for that opportunity where that he can put together a nice combination. And what's going to lead up to that is that left jab.
And the jab being very effective. Holmes missing very few jabs. And the eye is pretty nasty, although there's not any blood getting into the eye right now to Smith. There's the right hand by Smith. It backed Holmes up, appeared to kind of wake him up rather than hurt him, I think.
You can see the concentration in Holmes' eyes. He's staring at Smith. He knows exactly where he wants to put his punches.
It was a good short right hand set up by the left. And there was another overhead right.
That buckled the knees of Smith.
That was a great shot by Holmes, best punch of the fight.
You would now see more of aggressive Larry Holmes.
Smith trying to heed his corner's advice and go downstairs, then came out with a right hand that was a little short. Smith has been fighting Holmes' fight almost from the opening bell instead of getting in there really brawling. The eye, incidentally, is not really any worse than it was in the last round.
Again, it was a tip by a counter right hand thrown by Larry Holmes.
And once more, a combination by Holmes. There was a good right hand that hurt Smith. It was a right cross that time.
Holmes is doing a number on Bone Crusher Smith here. Larry still hasn't lost a round since he fought Tim Witherspoon a year and a half ago.
Don't turn your hand if I can't fix it. Don't turn it.
There's that long jab of Smith, and Larry comes right over the top with it. A perfectly executed right hand. You can look at it from above. So far, Barry, I think we can say that the last mismatch we had like this was last Tuesday.
I think you're right.
Left jab is going back to work.
In Smith's corner, they told him, fire that right hand. You're using it to block. Go ahead and throw it. That's something I would think easier said than done.
Well, again, what Smith is doing, he's starting to push his jab.
And Holmes just being workmanlike once more. Content to stay at long range with Smith. But he is keeping him in the center of the ring. He's fought his fight. That was a fairly good right hand that did get in by Smith. And there was another right hand.
Again, Barry, that's what Smith's wants. He wants to exchange punches with Larry.
And Holmes holds on here. Holmes may be hurt a little bit. I think Holmes is hurt. And Smith knows it. And the crowd knows it. And Smith tried to get inside. Hammers away with the right hand again.
Larry needs to keep that jab working again.
Holmes backing up and ties him up now. And a lot of blood on the face of Smith now, bleeding from the nostril as well. And a little swelling under the right eye now.
Smith is just so physically strong. He doesn't have that much experience, but his strength compensates for his inexperience.
Holmes continues to back up, and he hasn't been doing that too much. Only question, of course, about Larry Holmes is his age, and as you mentioned earlier, that's what people sit around and say, at some point he's going to go, but when is it? There's another right hand by Smith, and another right hand by Smith. Best round of the fight by far for Bone Crusher Smith.
Well, see, Smith now is starting to rush
And
Larry.
another good right.
He's just starting to brawl and turn his boxing into an actual fight.
Bit of swelling under the left eye of Larry Holmes at the bell. And the streak of Larry Holmes stops right there.
I think you may be right, Barry. That may be the first round he's lost in a year and a half.
Look at the gas. Right, we worked out the gas. First, you in next time. Yeah, you in next time. Where? Right. Little spot here.
Go. Turn water here.
Water on top. Okay. Hey, Big Jack, what we gonna do? What we gonna do, Big Jack? What we gonna do? When he walks to the jab, you've got to keep meeting him with that jab.
Let's see if we can get a look at Bone Crusher Smith. There you see him. He's at the bottom end of the screen, and you saw the punch he get in. It was a long arm punch. I don't think it really hurt Larry. It was a heavy kind of a punch that just sort of got there. And Larry has instructions now from his corner to go back to his jab and stop looking for one big punch.
Well, now you have to start to think about conditioning a little bit here. Tempo of this fight has picked up quite a lot. Words of encouragement from Larry Holmes' corner.
You know what happens, Barry, when as the fight gets older, he learns how to reserve some energy. And that's why, fighters like Larry, they take a breather here and there, which is really smart.
Holmes' corner advising his man to go to the body. Before, as you heard, we told you they had signals and they were yelling Everlast, which means go downstairs. Now they're telling him to headhunt, stay with the jab. Another right hand by Smith. It wasn't a big punch, but it was enough to get Holmes' attention again. Good shot by Smith to the ribs. And Holmes is wild with a right. Larry Holmes breathing through his mouth a little bit here too.
Well, after such a long layoff, you need a few fights to get things back to rolling.
Yeah, remember the last time he fought, which has been almost a year, he won only 1 round against Marvis Frazier. And 5 rounds 2 months before that.
You know what I'm really afraid of, Barry, is when Larry tries to counter, because what happens, Smith is throwing right hand too. So it's like 2 meteors.
That's exactly what Emil Griffith had said in Smith's corner. He said, when he throws a punch, you throw a punch. Smith's corner has done a pretty good job on that eye, actually. It is not much worse than it was about 3 rounds ago.
Smith now is starting to gain some more confidence. He's gaining his momentum.
You can see Smith's confidence grow a little bit here. And he took a shot, did Holmes. He gave one to the midsection, but he took one in return. Smith's timing his punches a lot better. I think Larry Holmes is a little bit tired, Ray.
Larry Holmes is clearly winning this fight so far, but right now I'd have to say he's picking up where Tim Witherspoon left off, and he's not being very impressive.
And Smith is just having a good time. He was laughing in his corner.
Had a big smile on his face when Griffin told Smith that Holmes was tired.
You know, we should point out that Larry Holmes, by his own admission, hates the 7th round. He was knocked down by Ernie Shavers in the 7th round. He was knocked down by Ronaldo Snipes in the 7th round. He does not like this round, and he says himself that the 7th round scares him.
When Smith goes in, his head is down, so the uppercut, and that's what I mean, bringing the punches under, will be very effective.
Smith's corner was telling him to go to the body. He hasn't done that here in the 7th.
1, 2.
Breathing from the mouth. Good indication of fatigue.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be tired in his corner. He was talking without really breathing heavy, but all of a sudden, he also seems to be a little bit arm weary.
Well, you'll see that his movement will slow down, and Larry himself has slowed down, but Larry's really basically trying to just pick his shots. There was right hand.
And Holmes is cut over the eye. He says it was a butt, and I believe it was. It's a nasty cut over the eye, the left eye of Larry Holmes, and it was definitely a butt. I'm sure we'll get a chance to see it.
Larry's mad now.
He is angry. There's no question about it.
And he must go to work.
Larry Holmes has never been cut like that. So this is going to test the champion now. And he is angry.
That appears to be a nasty cut, Barry.
It definitely does. It's over the eye.
So what Larry Holmes is going to do is he'll try to go to work.
It would be a tainted victory, to be sure, should it end because of that.
It's a bad cut.
There's a lot of blood, and it's in the eye of Larry Holmes. He is angry.
That's a butt that could affect the history of the heavyweight division. There's no question about it. I think you're going to see Larry Holmes try for a knockout in the next round or 2.
Now hold your head still. I can control it, Larry. All right, Big Jack, it ain't nothing. What we gonna do about it? What we gonna do about it? You got to get the pressure on him, son. He's getting his tire fast. But don't let him come to you.
That's a bad cut.
When he comes to you.
Move your head. What you do?
There, right there, you saw where Smith's head came up. Something like that can happen.
It was definitely unintentional, but you hate to see it. Both men are going to go for the kill now. There's no question about it. Blood pouring from the eye of Holmes. Holmes knows he has to go get Smith. A lot of adrenaline pumping in both these men.
Again, the heads collided. One thing about it, Barry, see the fact that Larry's so angry, he could lose composure and get caught.
Holmes Holmes took a good left hand. Holmes knows he's got to go get him, and I doubt that Larry Holmes has been in that position before.
If Smith had the experience, he would work on the eye with the left jab.
However, the blood does not appear to be flowing in it. There was a good right hand by Holmes. It hurt Smith.
One thing about Smith, he has a an iron jaw. He really does.
He's taken Holmes' best. The blood, up until a moment ago, did not appear to be flowing into the eye. It appeared to be flowing alongside the eye. But any one punch could get it in there. It could even come off the gloves of Smith. You saw Holmes shake his head, and that would indicate that there is blood in the eye.
Smith now is going to the body. It was a wicked body shot he just threw. That eye of Larry is really bad.
Very nasty.
I think now because Smith has the left hook.
Holmes now has to brawl with Smith. So now it is Holmes who is fighting Smith's fight. There was a right hand. That hurt Holmes. Holmes never saw that punch coming. And another right hand.
He wobbled out with that shot.
Well, there's no question about it. Holmes never saw the punch. Holmes is still on unsteady legs. Smith lunges with a left hand. Holmes is fighting on guts.
The left eye is really bothering Larry. It's starting to get in his eye. The blood is starting to drain into his eyes now.
Davey Pearl takes a long look at the eye. Still a lot of time in this round. And another right hand. And a good right hand by Holmes. Not much on that right hand, though.
This guy can take a punch. Larry hit with some very good right hands.
Larry Holmes was slipping that punch. He didn't get the full brunt of it, but it scored nonetheless.
And that's why I'm expecting the same thing from Larry Holmes, because that eye is really affecting his performance now. It's really bothering him.
It's interesting enough, I think, that if Larry Holmes does come back and win this fight, he might get more respect out of this fight than any fight preceding this, and he's probably been closer to losing this fight than any fight preceding this. Holmes' corner told him, box, box, box. Keep your man off you. That's what Larry Holmes is doing here so far in the 9th round.
You know, I really expected Braun Crusher Smith to hit Larry, and then nothing happened. But on the other hand, Larry's hit Smith, and nothing really happened. It's just the opposite way around.
Holmes working the jab pretty effectively now. Smith has not been on him, and the blood is not as bad in this round. Holmes jabbing very well. When he does get his man inside, he holds him, fighting a very intelligent round here. Oddly enough, the bleeding over the left eye of Larry Holmes is almost diminished here in this round. Hard to believe from a cut that nasty.
There's a very good cut man in his corner. Larry's doing the right thing of tying Smith up, but then again, he still shouldn't be that close to him, especially with the cut that he has.
There's a good right hand by Holmes, but it was caught on the top of the head pretty much by Smith.
And there is Smith.
Still laughing.
Come on. You see where you go.
And there is the former Walker Smith, Sugar Ray Robinson.
He looks great.
Well into his 60s and looks very well.
You've been doing it? Oh, yeah. All right, now let's work. Under control now. You got to do it. Work.
And so we come to the 10th round. And blood immediately starts from the cut over the left eye of Larry Holmes. In Smith's corner, they were giving him the old, you don't don't want to disappoint your wife and kids routine. Smith took a good shot from Holmes.
You know, Larry Holmes is a very good cut man in Percy Richardson, and he still has not been able to stop the bleeding because the flow of blood is still coming down.
And a right hand by Smith makes it come a little bit more.
Not much movement, and it's basically each fighter is trying to land a bomb, which has been really the right hand.
Smith continuing to smile at his man. Both talking to each other now.
That was very good sportsmanship from Larry Holmes. They were complaining about the headbutts.
Both these men are going to know they've been in a fight, I'll tell you that. There's going to be some aches and pains tomorrow.
Oh, for sure, that's a given. Because they've both been going to the body and up to the head.
Smith has been very cautious over the last couple of rounds. He doesn't want to make a careless mistake. By the same token, he's had his best success when he's been more aggressive. And now the blood really showing on the face of Larry Holmes.
And he had the collide of heads.
Is that the blood is not really flowing into the eye of Larry Holmes, but on one or two occasions. So it's not really affecting his vision. But there's no question about how serious the cut is. There's a lot of blood.
Larry Holmes finding this is a hard way to earn an easy million.
I would think so. And the pace picks up appreciably at the start of the 11th round.
Even mentally, he prepared himself to fight Larry Holmes. Because normally, any guy that fights for the title, that's the biggest obstacle, the psychological obstacle. And he's definitely overcome that.
Watch your heads going in now.
Holmes' corner wants him to go downstairs and then come up.
When Smith throws his left hook, it doesn't look effective.
There was a good right hand by Holmes.
It doesn't look effective, but it's very deceptive. A lot of power behind it.
And a good left hook by Holmes. Two good punches by Holmes, and now the blood continues to pour from Bone Crusher Smith.
Now you'll see an artist at work.
And a good right hand by Holmes, and that slowed Smith up. Smith's quite a lot of blood above the eye of Smith. Smith is actually bleeding a lot worse right now than Larry Holmes.
This is when the right hand can come over across that left hand.
They continue to jaw at each other here.
I don't think Smith can really see that right hand. Trying to throw the right hand because the blood is flowing into the eye of Bone Crusher Smith.
The 11th round has been a good round for Larry Holmes. And another combination. Now Holmes goes downstairs and then brings an uppercut up. And the blood is really pouring from the eye of Bone Crusher Smith, and we're going to have the doctor look at it. Smith's eye is extremely nasty.
That's really nasty. Gee.
And I'm not sure that this one is going to go on much.
No way.
Okay. The doctor says it's all right. Interestingly enough, Smith's eye is worse than Holmes. If you can believe that.
That's what's known as an eye for an eye. And they're going to have to do some great work in the corner there to get him ready for the next round.
Get on top of it.
And this is the 12th round, and now it's Smith who has to think about the cut. And Holmes, being the professional, goes right after it.
Well, now you're going to see a master at work, Larry Holmes. He's going to be using that left jab. He's going to work on that eye.
Smashing right hand, and the blood pours from the eye. He does, and it goes on. In Holmes' corner, they tell him to go after it. Smith back on his heels. Holmes unquestionably the stronger of the two at this juncture.
Hold it up, Larry. I'm going to check him out. Time. Come here.
And we're going to take another look at the eye of Smith. And Smith is on rubber legs here. I will guess that they will stop it here.
Both of these fighters will be going to St. Elsewhere after this fight.
It's over.
And it's over.
It is over. And there are two game warriors.
No more. Just watch it. What's over there?
I don't think anybody will question that.
It was a nasty cut. It did the right thing, though.
You know, we talk about the fact that Larry Holmes is a guy who's always been seeking recognition, seeking people telling him, yes, you're worthy of being the great champion, being considered the great champion. I really think he might have done more for himself tonight under very adverse conditions than he has in years.
I would agree, Barry, because of circumstances. I mean, Larry sustained a bad cut, a nasty cut, and also bone crusher Smith. And Larry showed the true heart of a champion and displayed his talent so well.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the advice of the ringside physician, Dr. Donald Romeo, referee Davey Pearl stops the bout at 2 minutes 10 seconds of the 12th round. The winner by a TKO and still undefeated world champion, Larry Holmes.
Larry Holmes is the champion of the world. He comes down to shake our hands. And he comes down.
All the way down.
All the way down to talk with us here.
I want to talk to the best.
All right, here's Larry Holmes talking with Sugar Ray Leonard. Larry, it was no walk in the park today. You had to work for this one.
I told everybody this guy is tough. He's awkward, punch hard. And he took my full control. When he butted me, I couldn't see anymore. And he took my concentration. I was mainly waiting to see if I can take him out. But he was strong and tough and very awkward. So, you know, it just took him out of time. And the referee says, do you want to go on? You cut real bad. And he says, no, I quit.
When you had to really dig down, you really did that. You dug down and you came away with it at the end. And the people said you only fought one round in almost a year. And here you had to go 12 rounds, and they were 12 tough rounds.
It's just to show you, HBO fights are all hard. Every fight I fought on HBO was a war with Weaver and with Trouble Burbage. Now with this guy here, there's a lot of critics out there today saying that this guy ain't nothing, this guy ain't that, but they're not taking the punches. Every fighter is a fight. And I worked very hard for Bone Crusher. He's a good fighter, he's a game fighter, and he wanted to win the title. And unfortunately, I got cut with a headbutt, and the guy took advantage of it with no experience and with no, not fighting for the championship before. The man gave up. But you got to give him an A for effort because he tried.
What were the thoughts that you had when you knew you'd been cut, and it was a nasty cut? Obviously, you knew that because the blood did get in your eye. Did it ever go through your mind that maybe that what a way to lose a fight?
No, because I know I have a very good cut man, Percy Richardson, and Eddie Fudge. I got a good corner, and these guys really know what they're doing. And as a champion, you want the best working with you. And I'm just glad that I had Percy Richardson and Eddie Fudge with me because they're pros out there. There's no amateurs in my corner, so that really didn't bother me. What bothers me, what worried me a little bit, because I got a little gas in there, I guess from inactive, not been in the ring in a while, and little nerves and whatnot. And I had some gas, and I had a chance to get it out. And when I got that gas out, as you notice, I started picking up my pace and working it out. And, it was just a matter of time before I really turned on the gas because this guy never fought no more than 10 rounds, and that was with Frank Bruno. And even though my year layoff, I think it was a good comeback. Now I'm ready to go at someone else, whoever it is, it doesn't really matter. And until I'm satisfied. Now, you know, a lot of people say, oh, he's old, he's 35 years old, but I'm still good. And anytime anybody can get in there with James Bone Crusher Smith, they're going to know this man is there to stay.
This was a good fight for you, and you had to dig down, champ. Congratulations. You really picked it up and won it.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Sugar Ray. No offense to Larry Merchant. Larry is a good announcer, but I want to be with the best because I'm the best.
All right, we're going to go up right now to Larry Merchant, who is in the ring with a very game loser. Larry?
Bone Crusher, what happened when you bumped heads with Larry Holmes?
Well, Larry was thumbing me all the way through the fight.
You say he was thumbing you?
Yeah, we bumped heads, but he was thumbing me on both eyes, real thumb.
Well, why didn't you complain to the official if he was thumbing you?
I wanted to keep right on fighting. I'm not a crybaby. I'm a fighter. He kept complaining that I was bumping his head, but he was thumbing all the way through the fight. He always thumbed.
When did he get you in the neck?
I don't know, but he hit me right here.
Why, when his eye was cut, were you not able to take advantage of it and jump on him?
Well, I can't hardly talk, but he's a good fighter, and I did the best I could.
How do you feel about it overall? Since you've been...
I felt like that I gave him a good fight, and for waiting for the cut, and I couldn't see out of my this eye, and I could have continued, yeah.
Thank you very much, James. Brave fight.